Stugotz here for Upside.com. I've been talking a lot about Upside.com, telling you it will save your company big on business travel and that you'll get a big gift card every trip you buy. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, in less than 2 minutes, they gave me a few awesome choices on United and American for flights to Chicago that work for me and a bunch of big-name hotels. The first option got me a $200 gift card and saved the company nearly $400. Then they showed me options for a flight an hour earlier or a stay at the same kind of hotel down the block. I'd get even more in gift cards, and the trip cost the company even less. Taking a business trip? You'd be crazy not to use Upside. Upside's the real deal. Got me a gift card for $200. Trust me, go to Upside.com today. Plus, when you use promo code Dan, you are guaranteed to get at least a $200 Amazon gift card your first trip. That's code Dan to get a $200 gift card free. Save big on travel and get a big gift card every trip. See what your next trip is worth today. Upside.com. That's Upside.com. Minimum purchase required. See site for complete details.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
I want to let you look behind the scenes. I'm sure we'll have breaking basketball news throughout the show today to interrupt the fun that we're having. In fact, go ahead and play the sounder, Mike, that is going to break every time there's breaking NBA news. Greg Monroe has opted in with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Ooh, good decision.
Wow, right, yeah.
Good job, Greg. Yeah,
Right.
that one. Keeping that nucleus together.
I had 17.9 million reasons to opt in.
So as news becomes available, we will give it to you. Dwight Howard has been sent to the Charlotte Hornets, used to be the Charlotte Bobcats. Poor Mark Spears of the Undefeated got a scoop. You know, it's hard to get the scoops when Wojnarowski exists. And so he fired off the scoop. Dwight Howard has been traded to the Charlotte Bobcats. Oh, no. Like, so he got the news, but he got the team that no longer exists. People hate Dwight, man. We'll get to that in a second. But I want to give people a look into the behind the scenes here on our show. Joe Harper is here. He is an intimidating Miami police officer. He's a big man. He's here in a suit. He's here in a tie. And so Stugotz, I just saw Stugotz bald from yesterday's Paul Feinbaum challenge. He was looking straight at Joe Harper's navel and like looking up at him like a 4-year-old would look up at his father. And he was like, Big Joe Harper, what have you ever done? Taunting the lie detector guy, in the words of Donald Sterling being interviewed by Anderson Cooper about Magic Johnson.
What has he done? Can you tell me? Big Magic Johnson, what has he done?
Been saying it to him all morning, man.
But looking up at him, because Joe's a big man. How tall is Joe? Joe is...
Joe's got to be about 6'5",
6'4".
Yeah, 6'4". He's a substantive man, and he's got his lie detector machine, and Stugotz is not a substantive man, and so he's looking up at him the way that a fourth grader would look up at Shaq.
He has a bullet in his neck, Joe Harper.
That's right. We learned that last time. Joe Harper's got a bullet in his neck.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't find anything that I'm doing or saying amusing. Like,
no, he's not smiling. No, that's what's funny. He's not smiling at any of it. That's what's funny. You're like, Big Joe Harper. He's like, just hook me up. Let's go. It's like it's as if he's the muscle in one of these movies that is going to interrogate the protagonist. Stugotz is the bald Jason Statham. He's like you know how you've got Mini Kiss? I'm not allowed to call him Midget Kiss anymore, right?
Mini Kiss.
Mini Kiss, little person kiss. What am I supposed to say?
Mini Kiss is
whatever.
fine.
Okay,
Little
Mini Kiss. All right. Stugotz is Mini Statham. Mini Jason Statham yelling at Joe Harper's navel. Bald, Big Joe Harper. So the lie detector begins in 10 minutes. We're going to get Joe Harper in here, bullet in his neck, unsmiling Joe Harper, all 6'4", 6'5" of him. And he's going to bury Stugotz.
Oh, man. This is so bad. I'm nervous.
The questions. How do you feel about the questions? I want to know, how does the shipping container filled with frightened refugees, what are some of the questions that have got you most excited? How many are there that are great questions that you are really looking forward to Stugotz squirming on when he gets hooked up to this lie detector?
In all, we've compiled 55 questions. This is a year of Stugotz lies. Now, obviously, they've been more. We whittled this list down from like about 3,000, but these are 55 55 are the ones we wanted to get answers to the most.
All right, Joe, are you ready? Is Joe Harper intimidating big Joe Harper? Intimidating Joe Harper. Bullet in his neck, Joe Harper. Are you ready, Joe Harper, to bury Stugotz? Like, what do you remember about last year's experience, and how do you feel going into this year's experience? Get a little bit closer to the microphone here.
Actually, stand up, Joe. I think it's better. Yeah. Show everyone how tall you are.
Really?
Intimidating you are.
I remember it was a good time last year, and it was not too many truthful statements.
Right.
He lied pretty much through his teeth.
Yes.
And that's what I recall.
You said, what do we have to do to break? You said that O.J. Simpson is the worst liar you've ever seen on your lie detector. What needs to happen today for Stugotz to break the record as being the worst liar in the history of your machine?
He has to go to a minus 23.
Okay.
And I don't think that's going to be difficult.
Okay. Well, we will see. All right, good. So Joe Harper is now talking trash. Yes, a minus 23.
Plus minus?
He may have the belt by the end of the day.
Okay. So that is what we're shooting for. The worst liar in the history of Joe Harper's machine.
Was I close to a minus 23 a year ago?
Very close.
Oh, man.
All right.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, let's get Joe situated in here, and let's get him ready because you guys have been waiting. The wait is over. You guys have been waiting for this for a long time. Stugotz gets hooked up to the lie detector. If we have any breaking basketball news, we will bring it to you. People are really mad about what I said on SportsCenter, that Dwight Howard's a Hall of Famer. Camera, just put that on the poll, even though our sports polls generally mock sports polls. Just put up there, is Dwight Howard a Hall of Famer? Because I feel like you guys just don't like him, and so you're not putting him in the Hall of Fame. You're not allowing for the fact that, A, that basketball Hall of Fame is pretty easy to get into.
Right.
B, if Alonzo Mourning is in the Hall of Fame, Dwight Howard has to be in your Hall of Fame. C, Dwight Howard was really good, excellent, top 5 in the league good before you guys started hating him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a double-double for his career. He's 17.5 points. He's 13 rebounds a game, a couple of blocks. But here's the thing, Dad. I think any reasonable basketball fan would say Dwight Howard is a Hall of Famer. It just feels like he could have done more. That's all.
Okay.
He started off so well, got to the finals, got through the East, beat LeBron James to get to the NBA Finals, was the best player on that Magic team, and you thought that he was going to go on an incredible run,
but
and it just didn't happen.
but the thing that gets confused, because he was the big man in Orlando, the thing that gets confused is people think of him physically as Shaq, and physically he's LeBron.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So the idea that he was averaging 14 and 15 rebounds a year, leading the league in rebounding, and was the 3-time or 2-time or 3-time defensive player of the year at that size is crazy.
Yep, 6'11".
It's crazy. Well, but not even. He's not 6'11". Dwight Howard's not 6'11".
I imagine Kevin Durant is just as tall, if not taller, than Dwight Howard.
I think Kevin Durant is a good deal. I think Dwight Howard's 6'9". I think Dwight Howard, I'm guessing, you know what? LeBron's been lying about his age for a long time. I'm guessing LeBron weighs more than Dwight Howard. Don't go by listed weight because LeBron's going to be listed at 250, but I think of LeBron as closer to 275, 280.
Well, just want to clear up something. You said LeBron's been lying about his age the whole time?
About his weight.
His weight.
Sorry.
That's what you meant?
Yes, I meant his weight. Thank you.
Dwight's 265. So I'll check LeBron.
Because that'd be a hell of a scoop. Yeah. That'd outdo Mark Spears, no doubt.
Yes. Yeah. Well, put that on the poll. Is LeBron bigger than Dwight Howard? Because I think he is. And I think what has hurt Dwight Howard in the way that he's received is that people expect him to be Shaq because he was the big man in Orlando. But as far as big men go, he's not big.
Right. You're right. LeBron's listed at 250, but you can't go by that. I tend to agree with you. I think LeBron probably weighs more and is bigger than Dwight Howard. But people just expected so much out of Dwight. Right or wrong, they did, Dan, and it didn't turn out. And then he had the whole, Lakers debacle and how we handled that situation, and we just expected more, man.
Oh, I get it. I get why you expected more. I told you, my former girlfriend, I was there to see Stan Van Gundy. Stan Van Gundy thinks Dwight Howard is a Hall of Famer. If he's let go of the stuff with Dwight Howard, if Stan is let go of the stuff with Dwight Howard.
Right.
You might want to let go of some of the stuff with Dwight Howard. But I go see Stan Van Gundy one time, and I'm with my girlfriend, and I see she's in front of me, and I've got my back to the locker room, and I see that my girlfriend is smiling at someone who is over my left shoulder. And I turn around to see a smiling and shirtless Dwight Howard, which is about the most intimidating physical body that you can see in terms of perfection if you yourself are not confident in your own beauty. Because you could have parked a motorcycle on those shirtless shoulders of Dwight Howard as he winked and smiled at my lady. I turned around horrified.
Terrible.
Horrified. Like, what am I going to do? If he wants to dance with my date, he's dancing with my date. What am I going to do? Dance next to him. Hey, Dwight, can I cut in?
I love that visual of Dwight dancing with your girlfriend.
I'm doing the twist next to him. Hey, when can I get in here, Dwight?
Be the only time he boxed out.
That's what? He's a great rebounder. You just went for the joke there. He's
overrated.
Even last year. Didn't he do double-digit rebounds last year even?
Yeah, he's not deserving of the Hall of Fame.
All right, very good.
You play 40 minutes and a guy that big's going to grab some boards.
All right.
How about win?
All right.
Don Batard.
Stugotz talking about movies is one of the most amazing things you'll ever see. He says he wants to know in a movie's title what a movie's about, and he was just yelping and complaining.
Stugotz.
Well, Dances with Wolves, which is one of the most overrated movies in the history of movie making. The guy never dances with a wolf. If the title of the movie is going to be Dances with Wolves, then I want to see a guy dancing with wolves. Costner never did it.
Right. You're waiting
Soft.
3 hours for a guy to dance with a wolf.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Texter writes in, Dwight Howard is 31 and just got traded for Miles Bleeping Plumlee and a second-round pick. It's okay for fans to question his greatness. That's fine. You can question his greatness. I'm telling you that the numbers say he's a Hall of Famer, period. The numbers are not arguable on this. The numbers say that Dwight Howard's a Hall of Famer.
You talk about expectations all the time, though, right? So expectations are everything. You walk into a movie, you think it's going to be great, and chances are it will fall below those expectations. People thought Dwight Howard was going to be something better than 17-13 and no championship.
I know, but this thing with no championships is what ends up being the thing that stains you, especially at the end of his career here as he bounces around one-year stops everywhere and gets hit with that bad teammate stuff that T.O. has lathered all over him as he doesn't make the Hall of Fame. Josh Smith's numbers are Scottie Pippen's numbers. One of them won. The other one's a laughingstock. Nobody wants to hear about this. Let's talk about Joe Harper. Joe Harper is here. He's got a bullet in his neck. Stugotz is strapped up to, he's got things around his chest. He's got a blood pressure machine around his arm. He's got sensors on his fingers. Joe, give us an update on what it is, all this stuff that is on Stugotz. What's it measuring?
Okay. What the polygraph measures is three basic areas of your physiology. The first one, the attachments on the chest, those are to measure respiration.
Okay.
While you're breathing, and when someone lies, all the smooth muscles around the lungs and the heart contract to protect you. These are features that have been with human beings for 500,000 years, defense mechanisms.
Right.
So when you're threatened, especially with a question, or it could be a lion at the cave door, your body goes into a defensive mode. Now, what happens in respiration, like I said, is the muscles contract around your heart and lungs to protect you. You think you're inhaling the same volume of air, but you're not. So that's identifiable and recordable at that point. So that's one feature of polygraph.
The fingers. What's on his fingers?
Fingertip attachments are the electrodermal response. That's very interesting and very much relevant.
Yeah.
What happens when you're threatened, your skin, your armor, the largest organ in your body, contracts. At that point, when your skin contracts, moisture is emitted from your fingertips. That's recordable on a polygraph. That moisture is designed, they theorize, over the last 500,000 years to protect you from the sense of being able to grab trees and limbs and rocks and bushes to run if you're threatened. That's the fight-flight holding mechanism. You're able to hold on to things better if your hands are wet, like a baseball. Even the soldiers at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier have wet gloves that are able to hold on to that gun at all times. Your fingers are that's identifiable in polygraph.
And the arm?
Moisture. The arm cuff, people think it's blood pressure, but it's really not. When you're threatened, your heart starts to race. The reason your heart starts to race is to move the blood to the core. You don't need blood in your face and your hands and your legs. You need the blood around the vital organs to blunt force trauma. And the body is designed to do all these things for you. That's why you see people who are threatened sometimes faint from that blood transfer. When they're threatened, they just pass out. Or they turn pale. And
Can we do that, please? I would like Stugotz to pass out because of the intensity of your intimidation. Let's get started here.
so you got a good basis of what we're looking for.
Yes, we have got a scientific study.
Evaluation. Yes.
Yes.
So we're doing 55 questions, and we're sprinkling them 55
let's see how
questions.
It goes. Let's see how it goes. Let's start here with our first
Let me get
question.
in a relaxed position
Yes.
here because this is a breeze.
All
man.
right, let's go.
All right?
This is Joe Harper.
Big Joe Harper.
We've been collecting these lies for the better part of a year of collected lies. Go ahead, Joe. What is your first question for Stugotz?
All right, the first question is, did you really douse yourself with gasoline after leaving a strip club?
Yes.
Bad answer. No, he never did that. I would recommend getting hosed down instead.
What happened? What, already a lie? Why would you lie about that?
You've been telling that lie for years.
That's what the thing is, though. He believes his own lies. Stugotz comes to believe his own lies.
Listen, believe what you want. Believe the lie detector machine. Believe what you want. I'm telling you, I have doused myself with gasoline on the way home from a strip club.
Are you a smoker?
In order to get the smell off him. That does sound something like Stugotz would do. Forget that he's smoking a cigarette while dousing himself with gasoline so he doesn't get in trouble at home.
Man.
Gets the stripper scent off him.
Hose yourself down.
Give us another question, Joe
All right.
Harper.
Sound experienced, Joe.
Did you really confront the Russian dealer on your cruise ship for not being friendly when taking your money?
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
The Russian.
Yeah, I called him the assassin. Yeah,
You're a bad man,
Yeah,
too.
he took all my money, man.
Tough
that
guy.
And did it without smiling, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a habit of doing that.
Third question from Joe Harper.
Do you enjoy doing the show more when Dan is out?
Let me hear that again, Joe, real quick. Just I wasn't
like a
clear on the
spelling
question.
bee.
So you- I can get my breathing.
Use it in a
Hold on.
sentence.
It's going to need another one here, right?
Gonna-
Do you enjoy doing the show more when Dan is out?
No.
Bad answer.
Oh, come on! Come on! I mean, when Dominique's here,
What? When Dominique's here, what?
I enjoy it as much. But nothing is as good as what you and I have.
Lies.
Nothing.
Lies.
Man, that's not true. I have to work more,
Joe
man.
Harper's pulling on his collar, but you get more attention. You get to be the star.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you enjoy doing the show more with Mike Golick Jr. than when doing it with Dan?
I can't answer this without offending someone. Big Joe Harper.
Answer the question. Do you enjoy doing it more with Mike Golick than with me?
No.
We're not doing very good today. We're not doing-
Oh, man. I mean, it is Sunday morning. I just have to walk downstairs. It's an easier commute. It's not as much about Golick Jr. as it is. It's just 17 steps.
Liar!
All right.
Joe Harper, what's the next question?
man.
All right. Were you telling the truth back in October when you said you had recently eaten a hot dog for dinner at a gas station? Taking your life in your hands.
Was I telling the truth? Yes, I was telling the truth.
You must have been very hungry because that's the truth.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes. It's a good
Just
dog.
enough truth sprinkled in to realize that he's lying about everything else.
Just stay away from the gas station sushi.
Dan, are you hurt by any of this, or are we good?
Yes, very wounded.
Oh, sorry.
Joe Harper, what else you got?
All right. Do you watch the WNBA like you claimed?
I love fundamentals. Yes, I do.
Not even close.
Oh, man. I just said that like 2 days ago, man.
Let's close out with two more here,
Two
Joe.
more, Joe.
Two more. Are Sundays really the designated sex night in the Wiener household?
Yes.
It's truthful. Yes.
Yes! Sundays are the
Sunday.
designated sex
Unfortunately,
slave.
yes.
Monday.
This machine is good.
Oh, man.
Who else, baby? Who else is in the club?
All right, the last question. In every hour-long phone call you have had with Mike, just complaining about Dan? Is every hour-long phone call?
Is every hour-long phone call that you have with me, Stugotz, just you complaining about Dan?
That's right.
Like, that's all I'm doing?
Yes. Is every hour-long phone call that you have just complaining about?
I mean, we talk about a lot of things, dinner plans that I'm never going to follow through on. No.
Bad answer.
Ah! The whole hour?
This has gone on long enough. Time to make some money.
Oh, man.
Yes, you're taking a beating. You don't have to go to department stores to get overpriced suits that don't even look good on you. The Black Tux is here to save the day. Tell them about it, Stugotz.
Big Joe Harper. The hell out of here. Ruining my relationship with Dan, man. And you pull all the straps off me. I got to do a spot here, Joe. Be nice to Joe. Joe, lunch is on me, okay?
To find us on a station near you, visit espn.com/ESPN Radio and click the station locator tab. Dan Le Batard.
What is the most pathetic you've felt moved to tears by something inanimate in the movies, like a robot or E.T.?
Wilson.
Really, a volleyball?
Wilson.
That's
When
a pretty
he
good
loses
nomination.
Wilson.
I mean, but gosh, I didn't feel anything. I felt the whole time that's just a volleyball.
Stugotz.
It was his best friend. It was more than
I know,
volleyball.
but I didn't feel that one. They didn't create the character of the volleyball well enough for me in Castaway for me to buy. Like, it was just a volleyball floating away with a bloody handprint on it.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Get instant gold status at Shell. Join the Fuel Rewards program now at fuelrewards.com/gold. Here's your SportsCenter update. The Atlanta Hawks have traded center Dwight Howard to the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte is sending Miles Plumlee, Marco Bellinelli, and the 41st pick in Thursday's NBA draft to Atlanta for Howard and the 31st pick. The L.A. Lakers are trading D'Angelo Russell and Timothy Mozgov to the Brooklyn Nets for Brook Lopez and the 27th overall pick in Thursday's NBA draft, sources told ESPN's Ramona Shelburne. And finally, three-time Oscar winner Daniel Day-Lewis has retired from acting. Good. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in the SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
Why good?
Who cares about Daniel Day-Lewis? Takes himself way too seriously. I'm tired of him. The actor's actor. Please, get so deep inside the role. Please, Daniel Day-Lewis. Go away. See how empty your life is without acting. Have fun. Enjoy it.
It's a good point, and we can't even trust that he's not just researching a retiree's role, because that's what he does.
Exactly.
The guy's a liar.
Right. A person who's retired from acting for his next. Exactly right. That's something that he would do.
Well, he is a method actor. When he did My Left Foot, he only tried to use his left foot for many months when he was offset. I would say that Daniel Day-Lewis is one of the few actors that if he leaves acting, it's a genuine loss because he is a thespian.
Mm-hmm. It's the last good thing he's done. Go ahead, name it. I dare you.
I mean,
go ahead, Lincoln.
There Will Be Blood.
Oh, yeah, that was good. That was back in 2007, though. What have you done for me lately? In 2007 was his last good movie. Gangs of New York, 2002.
Well, Gangs of New York wasn't good, but he was great in it.
I mean, it was a good movie, Gangs, but it was made, 15 years ago.
Guillermo, put it on the poll. Do you like Daniel Day-Lewis? Because I'm with you on the idea of, and Joe Harper will be back here in a second. We're going to sprinkle this throughout the show, the lie detector segments. Every other segment is what we're going to do with Joe Harper. He's going to be in here again next segment. But I'm of the opinion that in Hollywood, that Hollywood does kind of what baseball does, where they give too much attention to the middle manager. The manager in the dugout gets too much credit being a leader when your general manager and your players are more important. It's one of the few places, coaching is one of the few places where we celebrate middle management this way, and the actor is another place where we celebrate what is middle management a little bit too much by giving them power and giving them fame that's disproportionate to how much they actually have to do with whether or not one of their products is good or not. They are largely vessels that are interchangeable, although Daniel Day-Lewis is not. And I think the writers are more important and the director is more important. Put that on the poll as well, Guillermo. In terms of measuring a movie, are the writers and director more important than the actor? Measuring whether a movie is good or not.
Are there certain movies, because I could see you doing this, where, because you would know the writers, where if a guy has written a movie, you'll go see it regardless because you like his work or her work?
I mean, the Coen brothers do both very well. Tarantino does both very well. I don't know how much Scorsese writes his own stuff. I don't think of him as a writer. Is Scorsese also a screenwriter? That's not how I think of him. I think of him as a director.
Right. I think most people would agree. Director, writer, more important. I think even actors would agree with that, except for Daniel Day-Lewis. He feels like he's the most important. Like, hey, just write anything and I'll make it work.
I mean, and he will.
No, he won't. He's retired, man.
All right, so here's Dwayne Wade. How about Dwayne Wade on Twitter? Dwayne Wade aging is tough to watch. Dwayne Wade, the jumpsuit he was wearing at the finals that everybody made fun of because he looked like an R&B star who was 60 years old.
He should retire, too.
So here is Dwayne Wade on Twitter. 18.3 points a game in 29 minutes on 43% shooting at 35 years old. If I'm 25 with the same numbers, I'm getting 150 million. Emoji, crying, laughter, emoji, hashtag fading, hashtag petty. This is a worse look for Dwayne Wade than that jumpsuit he was wearing at the finals.
By the way, Martin Scorsese was a screenwriter on Goodfellas, but he was unfortunately also a writer on the pilot episode of Vinyl.
Oh, that hurts.
What a flop that was, huh? Did it even make it the year? Did Vinyl make it the year?
Yeah, they allowed the first season to finish out because it cost them $1 billion.
Right, because they got Scorsese to do it, and they had to go ahead and ride it out. Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Was Vinyl a mountain of elephant crap? At Le Batard Show.
Don Le Batard.
I'd like to be a dog, man. It seems like such a great lifestyle. You sleep all day, you wait for everyone to come home, they rub your belly, they take you for a walk, and they just throw treats at you.
Stugotz.
I mean, I feel like you're kind of this show's pet, though. Aren't you kind of? I mean, look at you today.
Who's good?
I mean, who's good? We groomed Stugotz. Who's good? Who's good?
Who's good? This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Guests on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Get in touch with the show anytime through the 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed at Le Batard Show at Stugotz790. Nothing makes a summer birthday or anniversary more magical than 1-800-Flowers.com. Right now, when you order a dozen multicolored roses for just $29.99, you'll get another dozen absolutely free. Great deal. Go to 1-800-Flowers.com/ESPN.
The lie detector, Joe Harper, with us on ESPN Radio. He's got important stuff to do after this, but not as important as this. He's got to go interview a murderer after this. Less important work. Now he's got Stugotz strapped up, fingers, chest, arms, everything. We continue with the lie detector.
Suspected murderer, Dan.
Suspected murderer. I'm sorry. Alleged murderer. Possible murder.
All this stuff is a tad more snug than it was a year ago, man. I have put on, I'm telling you, like 40 pounds since the last time we did this.
So, Joe Harper, what is your first question in this segment to Stugotz?
All right, Stunad. You said 15 minutes ago you were buying lunch for everyone. Is that true?
Yes.
No, it's not.
I mean,
not true.
Lunch, you told Joe Harper lunch was on you 15 minutes ago.
For
it
everyone.
is not on you. It's a lie. It's insincere. What else?
I'm buying lunch for everyone but Joe Harper.
There you go.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
What else you got there, Joe?
All right. Do you think that Dan is ruining your career?
No.
Joe, you found that funny, didn't you?
Well, I was wondering if you had a career, didn't you?
How about you just stick to the lie detector questions, all right? Don't need the commentary
Leave
from
the
you, all right?
jokes to us.
Big Joe Harper. What was the question, Joe?
All right. Do you think that Dan is ruining your career?
No.
That's truthful.
Oh,
Yes.
look at
Good
that.
job.
I buy that.
Wipe
Truthful.
some sweat off here. Hold on.
Well, not yet anyway.
Not yet.
He has made my career.
All right. Did the shipping containers bat mitzvah invitations really get lost in the mail?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
I've heard
Well,
that
the
before.
machine just laughed. The machine
Yes.
just laughed. I heard
Yes.
that wasn't Joe Harper laughing. That was the
Yes.
machine laughing.
All right. That's a major lie there.
A
man.
major lie.
Are you kidding me? I
A
just got
major
Guillermo's
lie.
back the other day.
A major lie.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe you.
Love you
right.
guys.
Right, right. Okay. Is it true that you haven't read the New York Post article about your rant against Cowherd and Whitlock?
Oh, you said you didn't read that. That is such a lie.
Did I really say that?
Is it true?
I mean, it's framed in my office right now. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, frame and all. He's telling the truth.
Yeah. I don't read, man. Even when it's about me. I know what I said. I didn't have to read it. I was there. I
He's
said it.
telling the truth. He
Yes.
didn't read it. He framed it but didn't read it. Amazing. Always a surprise when it's the truth, right? Always a huge upset when any one of them is the truth. Joe, what else you got there?
Okay. Would you actually show up to a Stugotz Day in Sioux Falls?
I mean, there are a series of demands they need to meet
Just
that
answer
I've
the
made.
question's
Private
gotta be
jets.
yes
I
or
want some
no,
money.
right? The
I mean, no one's
question-
offered money.
the question-
Would you actually show up to a Stugotz Day in Sioux Falls? I mean, it's not like everyday people invite you.
Right. Key to the city.
Is there a circumstance under which you would show up to?
Yeah.
As long as it's in the summer, right?
Yeah.
That's truthful.
All right.
Truthful.
Yeah, show up.
Truthful from Stugotz. It's much less fun when the machine confirms that he's telling the truth.
This is a good batch. I'm on a good run right now.
Okay.
What do you got, Joe?
Does your baseball fantasy league really pay out somewhere between $75,000 and $100,000?
Prefer we kept that off national radio. Yes, it does. Yes.
You must have read the instructions wrong. That's not truthful.
Not truthful! Liar! Lies! 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 Lies!
I mean, yeah, whatever.
It's more.
Faulty machine.
Oh boy, this is.
My fingers weren't on the table for that one, actually.
That's
Now that I'm
okay.
thinking about it. You want to try to ask me that one again? The fingers weren't on the
No.
table.
Ask him another question. That one has been proven to be a lie.
200 grand for
200,000, yeah.
fantasy. Sign me up.
Yeah, right.
200 grand.
Oh, 200. No, it's might as well be $1 million while you're at it. All right. Have people ever told you that you look like George Clooney?
Today of all days with this question.
I mean,
Today of all days. Yes, they have. Yes. Yes.
really? Nobody on this planet.
Liar!
man.
Filled with lies!
Come on.
Doesn't look anything like George Clooney. What a fraudulent, bogus claim. Why would anyone say that to you? Last question from this batch.
Okay. Have you really ever heard Jim Rome say the Super Bowl doesn't start until he gets there?
Yes, I've actually heard Jim Rome say that.
You've heard him say that? This is great if it's not a lie.
That's truthful.
Yes.
Yes.
I was sitting right there. Fudge Brown was with him. I was sitting right there. He said it. He said it.
So Stugotz is not a liar about that, but Jim Rome is an ego monster, so it's a win for
That's a
us.
flash right there.
I think we got time for one more, Joe.
All right.
One more, Joe.
Does it bother you that Dan has 2 Sports Center appearances a week and you only have 1?
No, I'm good with it, man. He deserves it. He's the big star of the show.
Oh, double line.
Oh, man! Oh, the thing, the machine.
I felt a little zap on that one.
Oh, man. Bang, bang.
It was like a zzz, zzz. Yeah.
One right after the other. Bang,
Doesn't even
bang.
have electricity. It's electrocuting him. One more. We got time for one more here before the end of the segment. Do you have
Remember-
another one or you're out of question?
I had a question.
Oh, you're out of questions.
All right,
Okay.
we'll come back
I was going to
then.
say, remember, lunch is on me, Joe. Take it easy.
Proved
on
that
me.
wasn't true.
Yeah.
So, wow. So it was proven to be a lie. Stugotz said it doesn't bother him that I'm on SportsCenter twice a week and he's only on once. But then he also said Dan's the big star, and that's when Joe said, "Ooh, look, the rare double lie,
A double whammy.
rainbow."
I should only answer what's asked, I feel like. I should.
You're only getting yourself into more trouble,
He's
man.
like, "Oh, look, bonus." And Joe was all happy, like, "Look, bonus lies." I asked him one question, just expecting. That's how he gets to minus. Right. That's how he gets to minus 23. Right, where you expect him to just lie once, but he's lying at maximum efficiency.
We're heading that way.
All right.
Are we?
14 so far.
We're at a negative 14.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Wow,
my
the
God.
worst Joe Harper's ever seen is a negative 23 by O.J. Simpson, who's coming up for parole next month. Congratulations on the company you're keeping, Stugotz.
I mean, I'm Darren Williams.
O.J. Simpson.
That information about OJ was in Kardashian's book, so he spoke highly about that.
Okay, so yeah, he was mad about that, was he, in the Kardashians book? All right, we'll do more sports show coming up here, sort of, maybe, and Joe Harper will remain with us the rest of the show.
You're listening to Love Advice with Leanne. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Leanne. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Why, in your professional opinion, do you never take my calls off the air?
Is this Carl?
Yep, it's Carl. I mean, we had a few dates. Everything was great. I thought,
Well, you know, when you switch to Geico, you could save a lot of money on car insurance.
Okay, awesome.
You should call them.
I will.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.